Hello friends, and welcome to The Burgreens, where we talk about photography, creativity, and gear. Today I'm talking about wedding photography and how to grow your business. If you're new to photography, or if photography is your passion or your side hustle, you might notice that a lot of articles online, when you Google something like how to make money in photography, will list wedding photography as a lucrative option, perhaps even one of the most lucrative options of how to use your wedding photography. That doesn't mean it's fast. That doesn't mean it's simple. It really requires you to grow a business to become a wedding photographer. You can't just go out and shoot wedding photography unless you're going to work for somebody else. I wanted to break down some of the steps that we think you might find helpful in growing your business to be that profitable wedding photography business that you want it to be. I've broken today's tips into 15 tips, and those tips are in a few different categories. The first few are in the category of mindset. So building a business isn't just about marketing and accounting and all of those technical things. It really starts with where your head's at as you're building your business, because that's going to help you have a strong brand or help you survive the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. Tip number one is care. We say a lot around here, serving your clients well will serve you well. And that is really true. If you care about what you're doing, it's going to make your business stronger. And that's not just fluff. That comes in the form of referrals and reviews and feeling good about what you do at the end of the day and going home fulfilled. And so step number one is super simple: care. If you can't care about weddings, then maybe you need to consider that when you're thinking about growing a wedding photography business. But if you can care about some aspect of a wedding, then that's something that you really should focus on. And so Mark and I, we're not super big on, wedding details and all the fluff and chaos that comes with weddings, but we love couples and we love love. And so for us, if we can connect to our clients and connect to their story and show that we care, then that has really served us well, and that has really helped us grow our business. People can tell if you hate what you're doing or if you love what you're doing. And so getting your mindset into that idea of caring, that's the first step. The second step to growing your business is to figure out how to stay present or how to be present. And this is specifically when you're at a wedding. There's so much going on that it's hard to be present where you are. And that's really what's going to make your photography connect with your clients, is if you're able to be present and focused. And so I've talked in another video about throwing out the shot list. Everybody talks about having a wedding photography shot list. Here's all the photos you need to take to be successful. And I think that that's true. Like, yes, you need to get a shot of the first kiss. You need to get a shot of the mom. And you need to get a shot of all these important things. But I talk about being present as being one of the most important things, and that comes above this list. And so this list is a tool. Having a shot list is a tool. Having a camera is a tool. Any aspect of our business is a tool that's supposed to help us communicate what it is we're trying to communicate. And if those tools get in the way of us being present, then we're not able to tell the story like we should. The third tip to grow your wedding photography business is to keep it simple. And this goes for everything. This goes for your gear. This goes for your shot list. This goes for your business plan and your marketing strategy. The more complicated and cumbersome you get, the more it slows you down. It's like quicksand. It's holding you back. If you have so much gear that you can't even carry it all to the wedding, and you need 5 assistants and a few llamas, then you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. Mark's over here laughing at my llama joke, but we'll just slide right by that. And Mark loves gear. We love gear. And the more skilled you get at using the gear you do have, the more you'll be able to add on pieces of equipment to your kit. In the beginning, keep it simple. And the same goes for your marketing plan. Focus on one thing at a time. If you focus on 50 different things, you're really focusing on nothing. Keep it simple. Tip number 4 on how to grow your wedding photography business is to learn about light. I'm not going to talk about that much here. We have some other YouTube videos that will help you with that, but photography is really all about light, and so you really need to start seeing it everywhere you go. To be a better photographer, you really need to start seeing light. Tip number 5 is one step at a time. This is kind of redundant, goes back to this keep it simple, but it's really important to just set one goal at a time and master that. You want to try off-camera flash, focus on that and master that. You want to try something else, focus on that and master that. One step at a time will really help you grow your business. Soon you'll have taken 100 steps and now you're standing on top of the mountain. But you can't get there by jumping up the mountain. You have to take it one step at a time. Our first 5 tips were all about mindset and how you're approaching your business and how you're approaching your clients and your photography and your gear and everything else. You're going to care. You're going to be present. You're going to keep it simple. You're going to learn about light. And you're going to take it one step or one click at a time. And that's kind of the mindset of growing your business. Next, we're going to go on to building your business. And so these next tips are all going to be about the photography business itself. So tip number 6 is decide, make it official. When we became wedding photographers by putting a few photos on a website and telling some friends that we wanted to be wedding photographers. Next thing we knew, we had our first few weddings under our belt. And so waffling and planning and getting everything perfect is not a step in building a business. The step in building a business is to decide and make it official. And there you go. Number 7, find clients. So once you've decided I'm a wedding photographer, it's time to find some clients. And like I said, all we did was go within our current network that we had. We found somebody that emailed like a work email list and said, hey, I'm looking for a wedding photographer. Does anybody know anyone? And we said, well, we can do it. And one of our friends was getting married and we said, hey, we'll do it. And you just start finding clients. And we can talk more about that in another video that I'm planning on marketing and different ways to find clients. But the first thing you need to think about is who's getting married and how can I become their wedding photographer? Number 8, you need to learn a little bit about business. So if you're a photographer that's trying to build a business, you're going to have to learn some other skills. You're going to have to learn things like accounting and marketing and budgeting. I can't stress enough how important it is to have a budget. You want to make money and have profits, not just spend everything on the latest and greatest gear. And as you're going along, learning how to grow your business, there's a lot of great tools out there. I'll just mention 2 of our favorites. We use Trello, which is a to-do list app where you can make little boards with tasks and you can share it if you're working with other people. It's great for something like planning a marketing calendar or even keeping track of clients. But for keeping track of clients, we like to use Tave, which is a client management software where you can capture leads through your website. They come directly into the software and then you can send them an email and you can keep track of them. You can send them a quote through there. They can book through there. So there's tools that make business pretty easy and you don't have to build some crazy Excel sheet like we did at first. You just find the right tools and start using them. And that will help you start to learn about business. I'll link those tools down below. Number 9 is building a marketing strategy. And so it's going back to finding clients, but it's now taking that to a whole new level is how do we consistently find clients? And then beyond that, how do we find the right clients that are willing to pay us what we need to get paid or that are having the kinds of weddings that we want to shoot? As I mentioned before, I'm going to be talking further about marketing in another video, but I'll just mention a few aspects of marketing. There are a lot of different ways to market. You can focus on blogging and SEO. You can just focus on building the best website and getting it shared everywhere. You can do bridal shows. You can do Instagram. You can do Facebook ads. You name it, you can do it. And the trick is going to be finding what's right for you and what matches your personality and where your clients are hanging out, where your ideal couples are hanging out. And so I mentioned before that caring about your clients really matters. And the reason that that's our number 1 tip for today is caring is because that's been our biggest marketing strategy, is the more we care about our clients, the more they say good things about us and tell their friends about us. And our best clients come from our best clients. And as you go over the years, that will help grow your business. These next 3 tips are going to be about growing your photography skills. And so we've talked about mindset, we've talked about growing your business, and then now it's really about photography. You have to get better at photography. So tip number 10 is take a lot of photos. You'll find that if you run a wedding photography business for 10 years, you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, I know a lot about photography. And that just happens. Yes, you can learn through courses and stuff, but it really happens by taking lots of photos. And then you look at your photos and you analyze what you did well. And that's those hours of practice that you need to put in to really grow your photography skills. Number 11, after you just take a lot of pictures, you also want to learn more about photography, and you're going to want to find some reliable resources to grow your skills. Find some books that inspire you or some classes on Creative Live that inspire you, and learn more about photography itself. And I'm not talking about specifically wedding photography, I'm just talking about composition or light or whatever your weakness is, you're going to want to learn. One warning there is that there's a lot of free YouTube videos out there on photography. There's a lot of free content out there, and a lot of people teaching you their 10 tricks to make everything perfect. And you just want to be wary of the fact that there are no shortcuts. Tip number 10 was take lots of pictures. That's how you grow your photography skills. And then yes, you can take courses and read books, but you're still going to have to take lots of pictures. It's not a fast, quick, simple solution. It's all about growth and one step at a time. And then tip number 12 is light composition moment. Walk around looking for that light, find the right composition, and then wait for the moment. And this is something you do with your photography, but this is also something you can do just in your house when you're hanging out with your kids and, oh, the light on her is really good right now. How would I frame this shot up? Okay, now let's wait for the moment. There's the laugh. And so starting to see life the way that we want to capture it will dramatically improve your photography skills. These next 2 tips are in the categories of weddings. And so tip number 13, I mentioned in the last tip, and it's moments. Weddings are all about moments. Yeah, weddings about cakes and dresses and flowers and all of that, but what we really care about and what our couples really care about is the moment that dad was tearing up walking down the aisle, or that hilarious speech that the best man gave, or whatever the moments are. We have to be able to see them, we have to know them, we have to be able to capture them, we have to be able to predict them, and then serve them up to our clients in the form of a photograph. Which leads us to tip number 14, which is to know weddings. In order to be prepared to anticipate those moments, we need to know what is a wedding and what happens. And you'll find that most weddings are fairly predictable. They follow a fairly predictable timeline with some variations. But there are certain things that are important that you'll come to learn. So this brings me back again to this whole idea of memorizing the shot list. The easiest way to figure out what's important about a wedding is to get one of those shot lists and analyze it and say, okay, here are the things that this shot list is saying is important about a wedding. It's putting on the dress, it's walking down the aisle, it's the rings, it's the food, it's whatever is on that list. You can kind of say, these are the important moments that I'm going to be looking for that I know are happening at a wedding. And you can ask yourself, when are they going to happen at the wedding? And that leads me back to one of our earliest tips, which is to be present. If you're present and if you're involved, then you'll feel those moments when they're coming. You know, sometime during getting ready, somebody's going to get teary-eyed. And so you're present and you're there and you wait for it and then you capture it. Our last tip could have a category of its own, which it does, is gear and other tools. Mark is a fan of all of that, and we have tons of resources for you about photography gear. But we're going to go back to that idea of keeping it simple. Find gear that you can use and that you know how to use, and use it. Take lots of pictures. And then as you grow your skills, you can grow your kit as well and start adding little tools that make things easier, that make things quicker, that make you better and more efficient and more dramatic with your work. Besides keeping it simple, it's important to really know your gear, to know how to use your gear, to know how to pack it, carry it, where it's gonna be, and make sure that it's one with you and it doesn't get in the way of what you're trying to do. You can check out our minimalist wedding photography gear list. It's a great starting point to show you how do we keep our gear kit fairly small, even though there's a lot of expectations from a wedding. We shoot weddings in challenging locations and we have to be able to carry everything on our back. With the exception of, maybe big light stands or something we're not taking up on a mountain, but we do still shoot big receptions where we need that more elaborate equipment. And so you can kind of look through that gear list and see how we keep our gear compact, but also have everything we need to make a more dramatic, more impressive shot so that our photos look better than those fancy new iPhone photos that everyone else is taking. So I'll recap the main categories that we talked about today. The first one was getting your mindset right. How do I want to be as a business person? How do I want to act? What's my mindset in moving forward as I grow my business? That's going to be your foundation. And then from there, it's all about the business skills. How are you growing your business so that you can find clients and grow something that's both sustainable and profitable? From there, you're going to grow your photography skills because that's the kind of business that you're creating. So we have to get better and better at photography and up-level our skills so that what we're offering our clients is above and beyond their expectations, or at least what they can get from one of their friends or their uncle photographing their wedding. And then from there, we need to know weddings. That's the type of photography you're choosing when you choose wedding photography. So you have to know weddings and what happens at a wedding, what's important at a wedding, especially those moments, so that you can familiarize yourself with that and capture it all. And then lastly, it's all about perfecting your gear list so that you can have the perfect gear, the perfect tools to make you good at what you do. That's our recap for how to grow your wedding photography business. I'd love to hear your thoughts. In the next video, I'll be talking about marketing specifically and some tips to grow your marketing plan. Make sure to subscribe so you're notified when that happens, as well as it really helps us grow our channel and know that we're not just sitting here twiddling our thumbs. We'll talk soon. Thanks.